Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Steam Train. I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon, and it's good to see you guys again. It's Monday, and I'm really excited. I'm Mr. Dorian with New Minds, and I hope you guys are all doing well. Before we get started, we're going to go ahead and talk about our cardboard challenge. The cardboard challenge is super awesome. It's going to be happening this Tuesday. It's going to kick off at 7 p.m. in the U.S. Justin's going to have a short announcement. Then it's actually going to go to Vietnam for 8 hours, Lebanon for 8 hours, and then in the U.S. on Wednesday, it'll go for 8 hours for Earth Day, and it's going to be super awesome. The challenge details are all going to be up on newminds.tv/EarthDay2020, and we're actually going to be doing an hour-long episode here on the Steam Train, just so you guys can see me do the challenge along with you guys. Now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Because Earth Day is this week, we're going to do a whole week about recycling, reuse, and the environment. It's going to be super awesome, and we're going to do a lot of really cool things. The 3 R's of recycling are reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we're going to focus on the second one today, reusing. Now, reusing comes in a lot of different shapes and forms. Some things are meant to be reused, like my trusty water bottle. It is metal, it keeps everything cold, and I don't have to use plastic water bottles. I just refill this, and it skips a bunch of steps, and it keeps plastic out of landfills, and it just uses this one metal bottle that I can use for a really long time. Reusing can also come in a different way, like Gert over here. He was an awesome project we made. We made him out of scrap paper, and he's also made out of a tissue box that we were going to throw away. We reuse this, so it is no longer a piece of trash. It is now our amazing artwork. And that is one way you can reuse things. I'll show you how you can make something out of some scrap fabric today that we can turn into a reusable pouch. And it's going to be super awesome. Now, this project would be better with sewing, but I'm actually not going to show you how to sew. If you know somebody in your family or immediately near you who knows how to sew and can teach you, make sure they're supervising, and they'd be super happy to show you. It's a super simple project. Always ask permission first, of course, but I'll show you how to do it with just tape and fabric today. Let's go ahead and look at our supplies so we can start on our reusable pouch project. I have a big reusable bag. This is just to show you. If you've never seen one, they look like this. They're made out of a canvas or a polyester, which is just recycled plastic. And all it is a bag that holds your stuff for you. It's got handles on it. And I can use this over and over again. I don't need to use plastic bags or things at the store. I can bring these to the store and reuse them. This is more like the project we're going to make today. It is a pouch with a string that keeps it closed. When I pull it apart, it opens, and I have actually my dice in here. So if you just got back from watching Masters of the Dungeonverse and you watched that show, you probably have some of these dice, or maybe you have some coins or things to keep track. So I keep all of these in my pouch. So we're going to make a new pouch just like this today, and I'll show you how it's actually super, super simple. This may look kind of complicated. It's got an opening, it's got sides, but this is actually one of the easiest projects you can make with fabric. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. I'm actually going to leave this on the table so we know what we're doing. The supplies you'll need are a ruler, scissors. I'm going to use tape. If you are sewing this and you have a parent or guardian helping you sew, you don't need the tape. I have a pen to mark My fabric is actually dark, so I'm going to show you a cool trick so you can mark on black fabric or brown. But this is a pin if you have a lighter fabric you can mark on. You're going to need a piece of string. I have this colorful multi-changing string. It's purple on one side and blue on the other side. I think it's pretty cool. I have, of course, my scrap fabric. It doesn't matter what shape it is as long as you can make some sort of square out of it. This is actually an end piece I used for an older project. I have a big tail on it. So I'm mostly going to use the square part. And if you have a dark fabric, I'm actually going to use this small bar of hotel soap to mark my lines. You can use soap because it washes off when you clean it. You're going to have to wash it whenever you finish it. So when you wash it, then the soap will wash off. You only need to wash it if you sew it, of course, but this is a helpful hint. I'm going to go ahead and put this back. So to make our pouch, this pouch is actually super simple. It is one rectangle, and then they folded it like a taco and sealed two sides. So we're going to do the same thing. First thing we need is our rectangle of fabric. You want to measure this and make sure you make an actual square with straight lines, and that's what our ruler is for. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up. Use my soap to draw a straight line. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it. There we go. I have one side marked. And I have another side marked. If you don't have any leftover fabric, that's fine. You can do this with paper and it will work just as well. The string won't work as well to close it, but I'll show you an alternate way you can make to close it. So I'll show you a cloth version of this project and a paper version. Make sure when you're cutting on a line, you always cut on the same part of the line. Don't go inside, inside, outside, outside. Stay on all inside or all outside. Or if you're in the middle line, stay in the middle. So this is actually all the fabric we need for our pouch. As long as you have a sort of square shape, it's going to be perfect. Step one is you're going to figure out, do you want the top to be the thin side or the wide side? I want mine to be a thin side, so I'm going to fold it so it makes a rectangle, just like this. There's going to be, it's almost like a sleeve, and I'm going to pinch the two sides. So I folded it like a birthday card. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to seal the long side because I want this side to be closed. Pretty simple. I'm just going to tape along that edge. If you're sewing, this is where you would sew the edge closed. I'm not going to do any sewing today. If you guys really would like to see me sew on camera, we can do that another time. Leave a comment down below if you do want to see that. But for now, we're just going to tape. It's a little easier on our learners. But I actually love sewing. It's a super awesome thing to do. I've made all sorts of awesome stuff. But you're going to seal these two sides. My tape shows up. It's actually clear tape, but it shows up really easy on the black. You're going to seal one big side and one small side. And then you have a hole in the top. And this is actually already a pouch. What I like to do to hide the tape is I'm going to turn my pouch inside out. I'm going to tape it a little better just to make sure it doesn't fall apart. But once you have it sewn or taped, turn it inside out to hide all of the seams. Seams are just the word for where your fabric is stuck together. Most clothes are actually sewn inside out and then they're turned the right side. And that's how they get their weird shapes, is they're actually built inside out, and that's why they lay more flat when they're inside out. So I have my sides extra taped. I'm going to turn it inside out. I'm going to bring the bottom through. There we go. Looking good. Now some of my tape actually came unstuck, so I'm going to make sure to stick it back in on the inside. Tape's not the best for this, but it's easier to show you. I'll show you how to do this with paper too, don't worry. And now we have our inside out pouch. Start to look more like a pouch you know. And I think it looks pretty neat. The last thing we need is the string. The string actually isn't anything fancy for this one. All you need to do is tie the string around, and then you have a closed pouch. If you don't know how to tie a knot, I'll show you a super easy way. You take the two ends you want, you cross them around each other, and then you put it through, one through the bottom, one through the top, and you pull. And that is the super easy knot. So I'm going to do that to seal my pouch closed. And I will actually have finished today's project. Oh, almost. So now I have this super awesome pouch. This could be cool for storing dice, for storing coins. When you're ready to use it, all you have to do is untie it, take the string off, and then you have a super awesome pouch you can use. You can put whatever you want in it. I'm going to put the soap in there because it's nearby. And it's a really cool place to store things, and it's reusable. You can reuse this as many times as you want, and we made it out of a piece of scrap. I'm going to show you a paper version really quick. It's pretty much the same. It's just going to not turn inside out. And then we will be ready to move on with our recycling challenge. Let me get a scrap piece of paper. This yellow one will work pretty well. I'm going to make a rectangle on it. But every day during this recycling week, we're actually going to have a recycling challenge. And your challenge today is to find one thing that you can reuse that you would have thrown away. Maybe it's a toilet paper tube you're going to save for the cardboard challenge. Maybe it's a plastic bottle you're going to use one more time instead of throwing it away. Maybe you are making this pouch project, or you watched This Mornings and you found something new that you could reuse. All of those are awesome ideas, and I can't wait to see all of you guys reusing things and getting ready for the cardboard challenge. The cardboard challenge is going to be super awesome, and I'm really excited to do it. So make sure you start saving up your cardboard now. So this is kind of a weird shape, but I did find enough room to make a square out of the middle. There's a rip in the bottom, there's holes on the edges, but I think I'm going to use the most of it for this square. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Just really quick. The cool thing about it being a pouch is it does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly shaped. It doesn't have to be smooth. As long as it holds stuff in it, it's a perfect pouch. There we go. So I have my square. Step one, remember, is to fold it in half. And you're actually pretty close to having a pouch. Now with construction paper, it's going to be a little bit more rigid. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fold the two edges you're going to use in a little bit. So just do a little fold. Just like that on one side, and a little fold on the bottom, the whole bottom edge. What this is going to do is it's going to let it have some more space when it opens. And fold the other edge, leave the top side unfolded. So now when you fold it all together, so you close it up, you're going to have a little line in there. That's perfectly normal. And then you're just going to tape around the outside. I think this is going to look pretty awesome. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. Now this pouch is a little bit smaller because I had a smaller piece of scrap paper. But if you have bigger paper that's laying around, you don't want to use a whole piece of paper because then it's not as reusable. But you can make some interesting pouches. I think this would be good for holding all of my writing supplies, like my pens and my markers. So I have made another pouch. It's open on one side, it's closed on the others. And maybe this one, since it is paper, I can tape it onto the side of my desk and have a pencil holder that doesn't have to stay in my way. So it can be a super awesome project that you can use in a lot of different ways. That is all I have for you guys today, and thank you for tuning in with Real Inspired Learning with New Minds. Keep practicing your passions until they become your talents. Don't forget to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.